it's Nikachu, and in this video I issued a challenge to the Magic the Gathering world. Beat my deck, win $200. There's only one rule for this challenge, and that is I can play with banned cards. My opponents can't. The plan of this deck is simple. Banish my entire deck into the Shadow Realm, and then play Thassa's Oracle. Because when this enters the battlefield, if I have no cards left in my deck, I win the game. So let's go take a look at the action. Opponent says, on the draw, probably dead. You're probably right. What are you cooking up? What is this cat cooking? All right, we got 6 cards revealed. Marsh Flats, oh god, we're gonna get scammed. So in the first game, Gitaxian Probe reveals my opponent's strategy. They're a reanimator deck. Put big creatures into the graveyard, cheat them onto the battlefield. Okay, we got the Doomsday. If we can stack our deck, I mean, that beats this, essentially. Doomsday lets me remove all the cards in my deck and then stack it with the perfect 5 cards. All right, let's go Mox Sapphire into Ancestral and hope we get, like, Black Lotus? Black Lotus? Dark Ritual? That'll work. All right, we still have no interaction here. So we might as well go our Dark Ritual into our Doomsday.
Eventually.
I think the only way my opponents can hope to win is I don't know how to Doomsday properly. I'm going to get shot for a little bit of damage, that's true. So my opponent plays Orcish Bowmasters, which lets her ping me every single time I draw an extra card for the turn. But fortunately, I had enough life to pay the troll toll, and I take down game 1. But that game was a little too close for comfort, and in game 2, my opponent showed that there's some cracks in this combo strategy. Ooh, Ancestral Recall. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. And we got Doomsday! Alright, can we win on this turn? I think we might be able to win on this turn. Let's go take some peeksies at our opponent's hand. This hand, it's a very sad hand. Very big, large, chunky creatures. So upon looking at my opponent's hand, she has Grizzlebrand, which is completely useless. But I glance over the fact that she has Shieldred, the Apocalypse. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. But whenever your opponent draws a card, they lose 2. See, when I played Gitaxian Probe, I put myself down to 18 life. Doomsday isn't free either. Part of the cost of playing this spell is I have to lose half my life down to 9. But I need to pay 10 life to draw my last 5 cards. And all of a sudden, I realize I can't combo off. This Shieldred's gonna beat me. Oh my goodness, actually this Shieldred is insane. How many cards can I draw before I die? This was not part of the plan. Okay, I'm gonna lose 2 life. How much more life can I afford to lose? Yeah, I'm gonna basically get chewed up by the Shieldred. And I cannot survive the triggers. So as expected, the combo can be beaten. But can you beat my sideboard plan? For I'm siding out all my combo cards and exchanging them with Black's strongest, most powerful creatures. You see, nobody brings in creature removal versus the combo deck. So not only will my creatures catch my opponents off guard, they'll be strictly invincible. You see, I think on the nth level +1, where n is the level my opponents are on. Welcome to the Nikachu challenge. All right, so this plan actually might work. Okay, we go Black Lotus. We crack for 3 black. I'm gonna play our Dothy Voidwalker, something I don't know if they're prepared for. You have any creature removal? No, you didn't think I had any creatures at all. Dothy Voidwalker is particularly powerful versus my Reanimator opponent for the following ability. If a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead, exile it out of the game with a Void counter on it. Don't be cheesing me with no Reanimator strategies, cause the Voidwalker cuts that cheese up for breakfast. It's a race between the Bowmasters and the Voidwalker. Attacking for 3 versus attacking for 2. Oh! But I've got Shadow. Shadow means you cannot block my creature unless your creatures have Shadow. And I just drew another Shadow creature. Well, that's good news. Would you look at that? Creatures beat combo. And with a few attacks, my opponent saw the writing on the wall and packed it up. But at this point, the community realized that if you can't beat my combo, you can't beat its creatures, you gotta beat what casts them. You gotta beat my mana. And user Luinel came out to do exactly that. All right, let's see what's going on over here. What you got? Do you got anything? You got a Trinisphere. Oh, that is nasty. Because as long as it's untapped, each spell that would cost less than 3 mana has to cost 3 mana. Well, guess what? I'm on the play, and that thing's not in play right now. No, Rod! Now we're getting creative here. Oh my goodness, you brought the hate. You brought the pain for me. My opponent's deck features Null Rod, which means my mana artifacts do nothing, and Trinisphere, which means everything in my deck has to cost at least 3. There'll be no more free rides on this magic train. But my opponent only has one problem. I got to go first, and I have a turn 1 kill. Well, I'm sorry, I'm on the play, which means I'm going to win on the spot here. There will be no chance for you. I use Demonic Tutor to find Demonic Consultation, which allows me to exile cards from the top of my deck until I find the named card that I want. But if I name a card that's not in my deck, like, I don't know, Abandon Hope, it will just exile my entire deck to oblivion, setting up the perfect Thassa's Oracle turn 1 kill. I got 0 cards left in my deck, and it is time for me to crack the Thassa's Oracle. A beautiful turn 1 victory. Remember, if you come after the king, you best go first. But in game 2, my opponent does go first and starts the game off with a Chalice of the Void. No! Well, I couldn't beat that with the first hand either. Which, if played for nothing, will counter all my artifacts, which cost nothing. And if I can't play these artifacts, I can't cast my spells. Well, that's it, I'm screwed. Follows it up with a Null Rod into another Null Rod, and at this point I'm just like, oh my god, stop, I'm already dead. And I slowly died to a pair of Magus of the Moons. Oh no, I can't play my cards. The damn Chalice says no. Wow, I've been defeated by 2 Magus of the Moons. Blood Moon with feet. It turns out our opponent is friends with Ha Ha Toast, who made the top 16 of a vintage championship, the most powerful format in Magic the Gathering, with an anti-vintage deck. It's basically a budget deck just built to beat expensive cards. So it's anti-big wallet, and I've fallen victim to the anti-wallet strategy. But in game 3, I now know my combo plan is screwed. That's why we side out all the combo cards, and then I asked my opponent, how confident are you in hand-to-hand combat? Very simple, we're first going to play Dark Ritual, then with 2 mana, go play Demonic Tutor. And we're gonna get our Black Lotus, and Black Lotus can be cast for free. And then that is when we add enough mana to cast Shieldred the Apocalypse. And it's time for the Apocalypse for this mono-red hate deck. This mono-red hate deck was so preoccupied with countering my most complicated, expensive, convoluted combos that it didn't even have a plan for Magic the Gathering's most fundamental win condition. Attacking with creatures. Menacing army over here, except we only have 2 mana at the moment. You know, it's not much, but it's honest work. And after only 1 more turn, my opponent conceded complete defeat. This ain't the Vintage Championship. This is the Nikachu Challenge, and to be a champion, you need to think outside the box. And my next opponent, Tooth the MTG, would prove that despite the power of Magic the Gathering cards, the game fundamentally is still about creativity. That is, unless I go first, of course. All aboard the roller coaster because I get another turn 1 kill again. Okay, if we get to play Black Lotus into Dark Ritual, Rotting Regisaur, Shieldred, I will be a very happy camper. So we're gonna keep. Get rid of our Ancestral Recall. All right, opponent. What do you got? Once upon a time, the end. Into Windswept Teeth. Into a Bayou. Elvish Spirit Guide. Collector Oof.
No, God, please,
that's gonna
no.
beat me. That's also gonna beat me. Collector Oof is exactly like Null Rod, which shuts off my artifacts. Except this thing can attack and kill me. Oh, the pain to lose to these damn things. Oh, the pain. Oh, the pain. Oh, the humanity. Oh, the humanity of it all. You see, Magic the Gathering is a very fair, balanced game. You know, all these ancient, super ultra powerful cards, they're all kept in check by grizzly bears. In retrospect, I should have put some removal in my deck. Or I should have just sideboarded a bunch of lands. Actually, I don't think it would matter. Oh, the Bowmasters to finish me off in the end. All right. GG opponent. GG. That entire game was a complete oof. So I throw in the towel and look forward to game 3, which I'm going to go first. I am completely undefeated when I go first. You see, cards like Chalice of the Void, Null Rod, Collector Oof, they can only be played at sorcery speed, which means they need to be played on your turn. So I get to play all my powerful cards and combo off before they even get a chance to counter it. So long as I go first, the game's over before it's even started. Leyline of Anticipation. If it's in your opening hand, you may begin with it on the battlefield. You may cast spells as though they had flash. Oh my god! Oh no! And that's going to be the Fusion Gaming Online Get Dunked On Instant Replay. My opponent starts the game off with Leyline of Anticipation. If Leyline of Anticipation is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. You may cast spells as though they had flash, which means they can play Chalice of the Void on 0 before I even begin my turn. My opponent's bringing on the beats. Super Flash. Already has Flash, now has Super Flash. Now, all hope isn't lost yet. I have Dark Ritual in hand. I just need 1 black mana, and I have 2 lands in my deck that can save me. Underground Sea. My odds aren't good at drawing them, but I have to believe in the heart of the cards. Oh man, can I endure this oofing beating one more turn? Come on, Underground Sea, give it to me! Oh, I got the Underground Sea! I got the Underground Sea! Since my life total's in a danger zone, I play Dark Ritual to play Demonic Consultation for another Dark Ritual, so that I can play my Shieldred. She can hold off the ground while draining my opponent's life on their turn, while gaining me life on my turn. Let's draw some cards with our Ancestral Recall to see if that's going to change our decision. Alright, Ancestral Recall. Do it for me. Oh my god, I know they were telegraphing Bowmasters. I knew. What am I doing? I try to gain some life drawing cards with Ancestral Recall, but then my opponent basically counters it with their own Orcish Bowmasters, which punishes players for drawing extra cards, because I take extra damage and they'll get a big creature. Oh my god! No! Oh no! Caracas! My opponent plays Caracas, which bounces legendary creatures back to their hand. Shieldred goes boing, and with my defense out of the way, my opponent attacks me for 13 damage. And with me at 9 life, I'm dead. Congratulations, Toothy MTG, you have beaten my deck. I shipped them 200 ticks online, which is worth $200. I asked them what they're gonna spend the money on. They just said, we're gonna play more Magic tournaments. And the victory was well deserved because Toothy MTG did the one thing no one else thought of: how to play their spells on my turn 1. Do you think you could beat this deck? Let me know how you would in the comment section below. Smash like for counters to turn 1 kills, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, or your next opponent's gonna win on turn 0.